Lagi mong inuuna kung anong dapat. Hindi mo kayang malunok ang katotohanang marami pa rin tayong kababayang gutom at walang tahanan. Kaya hindi ka tumigil sa paglaban. Harapin ang kahirapan. Tulungan ang nangangailangan. Basagin ang korupsyon na kanilang nakasanayan. Sa loob at labas, man ng Pinas, bakas na bakas ang iyong tapang puksain ang mga problema ng bansa. Gamit ang lakas, gamit ang isip, gamit ang puso. Kung para sa mamamayang Pilipino, si MP, wala yang sinisino. Manny Pacquiao.
Valoria goes left. Valoria flips it up and in! Sir Orland Lamar, but Lamar gets the step and the finish.
Hail Mary. June Manzo will fire.
Oh my goodness!
June Manzo all the way from
Serrano, Bebuelo, Serrano with the basket. Fuentes, no hesitation, gets it to go!
No!
Obisto, yeah! Jason Obisto with the putback!
Earlier, we witnessed the Imus Brotherhood getting dropped by the Batangas City Tanduayra Masters as they rebounded from a painful loss in their season opener. We're still live from the Caloocan Sports Complex as the Marikina Shoe Masters, led by Jomel Landayan, will try to get their first win of the season against the defending champions, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, where Raymond Binuya won Player of the Game honors in their first victory of the season, their first game against the Imus Brotherhood. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Javi Palanya here, joined by Coach Mike Perez. And Coach Mike, itong Pampanga, this is certainly a very different squad than what we've been seeing the past couple of years, especially last year when Balti was still here. Well, the past 2 years, back-to-back champions nga itong Pampanga. They're going up against a Marikina team here. How do you like the chances of Marikina against Pampanga this evening?
Well, it's going to be tough for Marikina, primarily because they've lost their first 2 games. And so, going up against the defending champions, maaaring wala ng Balti Baltasar, pero mabigat pa rin yung lineup nitong Pampanga. You still have Archie Concepcion, you still have Binuya, you got to contend with those champions.
We also have the third member of our broadcast panel, Ms. Lyra Punsalan. We'll be hearing from her later on. At dahil nga parehong teams galing sa Norte ang maglalaban sa laro na ito, let's take a look at the team standings from the Northern Division.
And so far, kita mo Pangasinan, Abra, and Nueva Ecija, those teams have really started strong para dito sa division na to. And it's very important for Pampanga to follow suit and be up there in the leader's tab.
Well, it might be just only a matter of time before Pampanga takes the leaderboard sa Northern Division. Well, it certainly is going to be important for them to win this game against Marikina. Marikina, in their last game, they lost big time against a very stacked Abra Weaver squad. Dave Ildefonso and company made sure that sa simula pa lang dinomina na nila agad itong Marikina.
Well, that's pretty much how Abra has been playing. You know? They dominate out of the gates, and the same thing that happened to Marikina. But on route to their second straight loss, Jomel Landayan had 22 points, and John Lay Bauzon had 13 points. Nem only had 12. And dominated in the paint, and it's tough to stop the second chance points of Abra. I mean, that team is packed with a lot of players, a lot of talents, guards who are very strong even on the post, very skilled inside the perimeter. And so you see these numbers right here, a lot of really advantage on the side of the Weavers in that loss by Marikina.
The Showmasters trailed by as much as 32 points in this game and lost by 23 to the Abra Weavers. Another tough loss para sa kanila after a close loss to Manila sa kanilang unang laro. They hope to bounce back here in this game against Pampanga. Now, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, different team as we've already been mentioning the past 2 games, but they managed to get the victory against the Imus Brotherhood, although not the victory that we're used to seeing them get.
Yeah, and they really got tested in that very first game after championship season. They went up against Imus. They won over the Brotherhood and showed that they are still capable of weathering the storm and prevailing in tough contests. They held on to a 3-point lead after 3 quarters, but you know they had answers in every comeback attempt nitong Imus. Binuya, actually 6 players in double digits. Binuya had 14, Archie had 12, Lalata had 12. John Lloyd Clemente had 12, Renz Palma 11, and Jemo Eguiluz, and those guys really made it, ensured that the paint would be secured, having 12 more rebounds, 14 more points in the paint, and ample help from the bench, 20 more points in that department.
New look Pampanga Giant Lanterns, but the same goal on their minds. They have the championship trophy once again sa kanilang mga ulo. All right, it's Marikina versus Pampanga here in the second game of our Tuesday triple header dito sa Caloocan Sports Complex. Let's go to Richard Tampos.
MPBL here at Caloocan Sports Complex. Let's make way for the starting lineups. First, for Marikina Shoemasters. That guard number 31, Nem de la Cruz. Forward number 23, Patrick Di Mayuga. Point guard number 20, Jomel Landayan. And forward number 6, Julius Tiburcio. Playing center number 1, Mike Machon. The head coach is Eric C. Assistant coaches Joseph Ochada, John Paul Basilan, Fernando Bunyag, Rain Mendoza, and June Failona. The team managers AJC and Monroe Quesson. Now for the reigning and back-to-back champion, Pampanga Giant Lanterns AMG 3 Construction. Two guard number 77, Renz Palma. Point guard number 18, Andre Armenion. Power forward number 9, Chris Lalata. Playing as center number 8, Jemo Eguiluz. And at small forward number 2, the Royal Bazooka, Archie Concepcion. They will be led by Pedik Di Matulak, assistant team managers Ronald Nulud and Raymond Guevara. Coaching consultants Alan Trinidad, Mervin Mercado, and Georgie Jovicic. Team manager and team owner,
Our starting five of this game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Marikina will be beginning things with John Melandayan, Nem de la Cruz, and Mike Machon, together with Patrick Di Mayuga and Julius Tiburcio. Sa side naman ng Pampanga, it's their new recruits, Andre Armenion and Renz Palma in the backcourt, joined by Jemo Eguiluz, the Royal Bazooka, Archie Concepcion, and another new recruit in Chris Lalata.
After a couple of seasons having covered itong Pampanga, still it's weird to see different names. You know, you don't have an Encho Serrano, and Jeff Viernes, Balti Baltasar. It's just a new look Pampanga, the defending champs this season.
Well, of course, Balti Baltazar now with the Converge Fiber Xers. He's playing in the PBA, the #1 overall pick in the previous draft. Andre Armenion scoring the first basket of this game. Armenion, he brings a lot of stability to the point guard spot here for Pampanga.
I totally agree. I mean, if you're gonna rank all the classic point guards in the MPBL, Andre Armenion has got to be up there in the discussion. He's just a guy who knows how to feed his teammates and lead a team.
Patrick Di Mayuga delivers a pass to Mike Machon to get Marikina on the board. Concepcion hopping into the middle, couldn't get the bounce. Nobody contesting Jemo Eguiluz for that offensive rebound and stick back.
And those two names that we mentioned, Archie Concepcion and Jemo Eguiluz, a lot rests on the shoulders of both those two guys. Having been part of the previous season where they won the championship, you know, leadership, they're gonna look to these guys.
Sa kanila nakasalalay yung continuity ng program.
Yeah, isama mo pa si Binuya dyan. I mean, you know, the culture, the way they handle practices, you know, those are gonna be a big help from those guys.
Renz Palma, who was the top guy for Negros last year, transferring here back to the north with Pampanga. Short on the jumper. Mike Machon needing the break here, almost walk. Couldn't get it off the glass. Sloppy play in transition there for Marikina.
Oh, wow.
The same there for Pampanga. They turn it over.
Yeah. He had the right thing in mind, though. You know, running down the middle. Chris just really couldn't get to it.
This is our assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Film few more game with 1xBet. The Mayuga connecting with Masion. Mike, top of the circle, three-pointer, hits nothing.
And JMO was there to try and challenge that shot by Mike C. Coach Eric C. From the previous season, if I recall correctly, coached Bulacan. I think Bulacan, was it? No, Valenzuela.
Valenzuela,
Valenzuela,
yes.
right.
Lalata cuts through the middle. That's
Yeah.
a nice pass coming from Jamo Egilos. No, not even Valenzuela, coach.
Or Imos?
Imos, yes.
Right, Imos. That's right.
That's a miss coming from Jomel Landayan. The pitch out ahead to the Royal Bazooka. Concepcion pulls back and gets it to Chris Lalata. Pampanga will set up their offense in the half court. Concepcion free for three. No, Lalata wanted to throw it down but gets 2 points nonetheless.
Sure, you don't have a Balti-Baltasar, pero gusto mo yung ano pa rin, no? Yung pedigree ng champion, no? Even Chris Lalata is showing that, and you know, all these guys that have built that Giant Lanterns team are really helping out the new ones.
Here's the miss galing kay Archie Concepcion, and then Lalata just snatching it away from Tiburcio there. Palma. There's Jamo Egilos picking up that basketball and putting it back inside the hoop.
And so far, it looks like parang hindi nawala si Balti-Baltasar. They still are dominating the paint, including the big stats of rebounds and second chance points.
More than 3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Pampanga up by 8 points.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Kanipaya. Para sa 100% Pinas, 50 ka.
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Mali!
You're still watching Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Being defending champions is Coach Pedic's motivation coming into this matchup today against the Marikina Shoemasters. And of course, sabi niya hindi pa daw ready masyado ang PGL. At magulo pa ang setup nila. And the chemistry between the players is still something that they're working on dahil malalayo nga ang pinanggalingan ng mga players that came in to join for this season. That's why they needed to integrate a system change for the unity of the team. But the namesake of being Giants is something he said we can look forward to today dahil talagang in-game daw ang mga big players for today's game. Javi and Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat. Renz Palma scoring there. Well, this is certainly still a very tall Pampanga squad.
Yes, agree. At saka yung very consistent din yung based on the report of Laika. We talked to Archie earlier. He says yung mga bigs namin talaga namang go hard sa practice pero ang pinagtatrabahuan pa rin namin yan is yung chemistry. Katulad nga ni report niya, medyo iba-iba kasi yung lugar na pinanggalingan no? And so it will take time.
Marikina has been scoreless in the last 3 minutes and 10 seconds plus of this first quarter. And this is the first time, Coach, that Pampanga is fielding in a roster that doesn't really have a majority of Kapampangans.
Agree. And so much as we said, rests on the shoulders of the previous regular rosters of the Giant Lanterns, the new ones also have something to prove that we came here for a reason and we're going to be part of another championship run this year.
No, I'm sorry. Majority Kapampangan pa rin. Pero marami na kasing hindi Kapampangan.
Hindi Kapampangan.
Oo.
Yeah.
Because usually they would come in with a roster of like 80 to 90%.
Right.
All Pampanga players.
That's right. And so when you talk about basketball, I mean, Pampanga is up there of the basketball talents, di ba?
Tsaka usually yung mga Kapampangan players na yon magkakasama na yun, bata pa sila.
Bata pa lang. So nandun na
chemistry
right.
doesn't really have to be a problem.
Agree.
Landayan from the free throw line, no roll on the jumper. Armenian to the other side they go. Concepcion from the corner. Di pa rin makapuntos dito si Archie.
That's the third time we've seen a look from the three in the corner, and each and every time, you know, it's been empty para dito sa Giant Lanterns.
This is how Pampanga started against the Imus Brotherhood. Before Imus got on a rhythm midway through that first quarter. Marlon Basco, the ageless Marlon Basco, missing from the outside.
He's played a lot of seasons here. Tsaka ano rin veterano na rin yan
Coach,
Marlon
kung
Basco,
sabihin mong hindi pa veterano si Marlon Basco,
ewan ko na lang.
Naiingit nga ako kay Marlon kasi up to now, at this age, he's still playing professional basketball.
Right. And this is still a solitary field goal for Marikina.
But they get a stop here. They get a stop there on that drive by GP Faundo. We're now at the halfway point of quarter number 1. Nem de la Cruz, one of the guys na inaasahan dito ni Coach Eric C. na pumuntos para sa Marikina.
That's why it's tough as we see Jomel Landayan here attack that open lane. It's tough to see them struggle on the field when you know you've got a Jomel Landayan and Nem de la Cruz on the floor. Andre's going to take a seat here. And Jomel Landayan.
Landayan making the first free throw. We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Landayan was the lead point man against the Abra Weavers. 22 points in that game. Led 2 other guys in double figures. But they simply were not enough against a very loaded Abra squad.
Ang Abra, if you don't start out strong and match their energy, you're in trouble. Because they've got a deep roster. See here, Nem de la Cruz
gets the basket plus the foul. Nagulangan niya doon si Archie Concepcion.
Maganda doon is that he used the rim as an additional protection, initiated that contact. And alam naman natin, the guy who initiates the contact has control on the finish, which is what we saw here in Nem de la Cruz.
Nem de la Cruz, certainly a bona fide scorer para dito sa Marikina. 17 points so far this season in 2 games para sa kanyang bagong kuponan. There you see Andre Armenian, the former Val City point guard, now playing for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
Compared to the previous season, itong 5 to nasa floor ngayon, relatively smaller, ano? I mean, this is really small ball, but they've got very able guards that can score and make quick decisions.
So if you think about it, it's actually 4 guards plus GP Faundo para dito sa Pampanga.
That's right.
Renz Alcoriza, formerly from Bulacan, missing from the outside. Jonel Bauzon. Out to Jomel Landayan. Marlon Basco trailing the play. Attacks the closeout. Marlon Basco. Basic finger roll para kay Marlon Basco.
Veterano ba ka mo? Yan na yun, no?
5-10 years ago, dunk yun. One of the more explosive leapers of his time, ito si Marlon Basco.
And 5 and 10 years ago, you were how? You were in high school or college?
College naman.
College naman, okay.
I'd like to say high school, but I will not lie about it. Marlon Basco right there getting the 2 points, his first basket of the game. And he gets Marikina to within 4 points.
Ang laki ng disparity pagdating sa rebounds. 11 versus 3 in favor of Pampanga. Well, it's because Marikina's not been shooting well, and the defensive rebounds have always been secured by Pampanga.
Andre Armenian comes out para kay Matt De Leon. Clemente off the glass and in. Sweeping shot right there by JLC.
And there were games from the previous season when Enchos Rano would go out and John Lloyd Clemente would go in and produce almost the same results.
14-6 in terms of inside points. Not a surprise there. Landayan leans in off the glass and in.
Well, interior defense is gonna be key if you want to beat the Giant Lanterns. Not just because of their half-court sets, but even on fast breaks, they've got very able guards that can finish in transition.
Paundo kicks it out to Don Gumaru. Gumaru, one-hander is good.
Tsaka mas mabigat ngayon sa Pampanga. Siyempre, they have a target on their back. No? Wala na kayong Balti-Baltasar, wala na kayong whatever. A lot of key talents have moved out. So everybody wants to get a piece of the Giant Lanterns, and they got to be ready for this season.
Especially after the run that they've had the past 2 years.
Right? Nobody's beaten anyone in Pampanga.
Yeah, at the
Right.
Brenzigiao Convention Center, they have been virtually undefeated.
Right. And so when that game, the close game of the series went to Pampanga, everybody knew it was gonna end there because nobody's beaten them in that gym.
Ball sails out of bounds after that shot from the outside by Marlon Basco misses. There you see Coach Eric C., new head coach of the Marikina Shoemasters this season. Coach Raisel Castro going to the Jensen Warriors to be an assistant under his former head coach at Marikina, Coach Elvis Tolentino.
Well, if I recall correctly, I think the wife of Coach Eric C. was the birthday the other day. So belated happy birthday to Mrs. Eric C.
Happy birthday po sa inyo. I'd like to greet everybody watching on our Facebook and YouTube channels. There you see Coach Pedic Di Matulak, a third championship on his mind. But this year will be the most difficult in their pursuit for another title.
Pero ang dami niyang bit-bit na experience and knowledge
For
coming
sure.
out of that back-to-back. And he really is a coach that, you know, these Pampanga players would look up to.
Marlon Basco, the veteran, averaging 9 points in 2 games so far, almost 5 rebounds and a couple of assists. Basco connects on the second. 16-11. 5 ang kalamangan dito ng Pampanga. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first. 2-2-1 zone press to delay the offense of Pampanga by Marikina. De Leon swings it to the corner. Clemente, catch and fire. Wala. Landayan pushing, looking. Landayan pulls back. Go. No good on the shot. But Dem De La Cruz tracks it down. Go. Against Matt De Leon. Bounce
Nice
pass
pass.
to Marlon Basco. Had that shot bothered by the defense of GP Paundo. Don Gumaru streaking. Kicks it out. Alcoriza. No. Ball is up in the air. Alcoriza has it. Still no go. Marlon Basco ends up with it. Jomel Landayan, a little hesitation. The fall away jumper short off the bank. Both teams exchanging blanks. Exactly 2 minutes to play here in the opening frame.
The pace has picked up real quick here. Pero yung conversion hindi ganun kagandahan, ano?
GP Paundo could not take advantage of his youth against the veteran. Basco, siya na nagbaba dito. De La Cruz says, let's organize. De La Cruz, nobody on him. Bauzon, he can hit the 3. Couple of dribbles inside. Ooh, chased down there by GP Paundo, but caught a little bit of that wrist nito ni Jonel Bauzon.
And GP, ano, very, very prideful yan pagdating sa depensa. And he's not gonna allow that straight line drive just like that. You gotta go through him. And alam mo talagang pagdating sa loob, maaasahan mo si Paundo that he will protect that rim.
Carl Peñano checking into the game for the first time for Marikina. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
And Bausang, I think 11 of his 13 points coming in the second half in their last game. And he's produced well, but you know, you gotta have other guys score consistently if you're Marikina.
And just like you said, Coach, when they went up against Abra, which we will talk about more after this timeout, a minute and 32 remaining here in the first quarter. Pampanga up by just 3 points.
Pag-ibig 50 tayo. sa 100% pag-unlad 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod 15 si Manny. Kanipaya. Para sa 100% Pinas
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Hati mo, si Manny!
Live ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League on Facebook and on YouTube, as well as on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. The venue for your Tuesday triple header is the Caloocan Sports Complex. We have Marikina going up against the defending champion Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Renz Palma did not waste any time getting to the basket there and drawing a foul. He will take 2 shots.
Well, one thing that hasn't changed para dito sa Pampanga are having very mobile bigs. I mean, you all know and recall na ito si Baltasar could put the ball down on the floor, bring it up himself. And the same thing here for Renz Palma, quickly running the break.
11 points in their last game para kay Renz Palma, their season opener against the Imus Brotherhood. 18-13, a little more cushion on the lead here for Pampanga. Terence Filona bringing it up against Don Gomaru. Screen set by Peñano.
Gotta be a push.
Carlo Velasco called for that offensive foul there as he tried to make a move to the basket.
Pushed with that left arm. And somehow the offense of Marikina a little bit late to develop. You know, you almost feel like guys are second guessing themselves. And maybe similar with Pampanga, may mga chemistry adjustments pa rin itong team na to because ang daming mga teams ngayon na ang daming pumasok ng mga bagong pyesa, no? And palaging yan ang napapag-usapan natin early on. Kung sino yung mag-gel kagad na mabilis, malamang sila yung may magandang advantage this season.
There might be just a handful of teams that have been able to practice for more than 2 months already.
Agree.
One of them for sure is Zamboanga Sikat, who started practicing after they got booted out when they were still Quezon City last year.
Yeah. Ang pinaka maraming core players na yatang niretain, Batangas is one.
Yes.
Right? Quezon, well, there are a couple. Meron pa rin sila ilang mga bago, pero pretty much the core is intact.
Renzal Coriza, only 1 out of 6 against the Imus Brotherhood. Knocks down 2 free throws there.
One team that's really shown good initial performance despite the huge revamp, definitely Abra.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, just the amount of talent that they have on their roster. Of course, this doesn't always translate to success, but certainly their first 2 games of the season, wala akong masabi.
Mabigat eh. Tsaka, I got to talk to Coach Jerry Andaleon. You know, I have some conversations with Coach Jerry, and he says, you know, katulad ng ibang teams, nagsusubok pa rin kaming maging magkakasama ng matagal or what have you. Pero definitely, nandun yung talent. He acknowledges that. But, you know, despite yung dami ng nagbago sa kanila, nakita mo ang ganda ng pagkakagel. At least on the first 2 games.
R. Casajeros knocking down 2 free throws for Marikina. About an 8-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Alcoriza trying to cross up. Ito si R. Casajeros, but that's stolen. Bauzon trailing the play. Went up. Was not sure what he was going to do with the basketball. Botched the opportunity and a 3-on-1 there for Marikina.
Magandang makita mo pa rin yung yung depensa kay R. Casajeros. Yan naman ang isa sa mga profile niya, no? Defensive, very pesky guy on the defensive side of the floor.
4 seconds to go. Gomaru still has it. Gomaru having trouble. Gomaru, He walked. And that's going to do it for the first 10 minutes of action. Up and down quarter here for both squads. Marikina and Pampanga having spurts of success here in the first quarter.
Yep. But clearly both teams struggling from 3, 0 out of 5 and 0 out of 4 respectively for Pampanga and Marikina. Marikina struggling a little bit as well, 26% field goal shooting. Rebounds have been dominated by Pampanga as expected, 16 versus 8. And the points in the paint, that follows, 14 versus 8, all in favor of the defending champs, the Giant Lanterns.
5 lang ang lamang dito ng Pampanga Giant Lanterns. JLC coming off the bench to score that basket. 20-15 at the end of 10. Second quarter of action sa aming pagbabalik.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Chris Lalata now playing for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Last year was part of the Davao Occidental Tigers. He had 12 points, 12 rebounds against the Imus Brotherhood, among other stats.
Well, Chris Lalata has always been a good mix of a big man skill set and the athleticism of a wingman. Nakita naman natin kanina yung leaping ability niya. And he can go out and close out on shooters as well. Good perimeter defender. But nakikita mo na nakakapag-contribute talaga siya para dito sa Giant Lanterns, lalo na in their previous game.
Empty possession on the first try from the field for Marikina here in the second quarter. As we take a look at the first quarter field goal story, 40% compared to 26%. And yet Marikina just down by 5 points.
Yes, I agree. Well, they made good with their 7 of 9 from the free throws. That helped them. But again, pagka sa Giant Lanterns ang kalaban mo, kailangan alalay ka sa mga runs kasi sigurado meron yan. They have so much talent on the floor. Binuya, Archie, and the rest of the guys. Si Binuya aggressively attacking right there.
Their first game's best player, Raymond Binuya.
Ang magiging tanong lang naman dito sa Giant Lanterns, I feel, in close games, who do you go to? I mean, before you had Encho, you have Baltasar. At some moments you have Jeff Viernes. But now, Archie's gonna have to be that guy. Binuya's gonna have to be that man. And even John Lloyd Clemente.
Let's go courtside to Miss Lyra Punsalan.
Enjoy, keep the motivation, and strengthen the defense is Coach Eric's words for the preparation of Marikina Shoe Masters. He said he didn't want to pressure his players dahil nga mga bata pa nga lang daw sila sa team and reminded them to just keep the spirit of being underdogs while enjoying the game. Landayan is very high-spirited though and said he's confident about the team's synergy and cooperation during trainings, which gives him the courage to give the Pampanga Giant Lanterns a good game. Javi and Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Lyra. Well, Jomel Landayan certainly is that type of guy to uplift the spirits of his teammates despite struggles.
Oh, tsaka kinakailangan yon para sa kanya. Siya ang primary na point guard para dito sa Marikina. And so, kailangan he has to exude that confidence and that leadership so that, you know, the guys will be following him. He's a young player na I'm sure may mga natutunan rin from the previous seasons that he's played. And the hope is makita ngayon yan sa floor this season.
One of the only holdovers from the previous Marikina squad. Ito si Jomel Landayan. He's on the bench right now. And his team failing to score on this possession. Carlo Velasco could not get a basket there.
Tsaka yung message ni Coach Eric na they want them to still keep the joy and hindi niya masyado pinipressure yung mga bata, mga players niya rather. at some point that pressure you're gonna feel, lalo na in situations where you have to win. You have to remember, we now have a play-in this season, so if you're gonna be down there, there will be moments that you have to win in order to advance.
But coach, how do you find the balance of not trying to put pressure on your players, but also trying to make them feel that they have to do whatever it takes?
But you gotta give them, in my opinion, you gotta give them targets. I mean, at this point, dapat yung mga within game, we have to score X amount of points because we're getting outrun. So give them those targets and guide them. After all, you know, winning solves everything. And so if you win, there's a lot of joy. Diba? You cannot be just all joy without the results. And that's very important if you're gonna want to be very joyful.
4-7 in terms of turnovers, +3 for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. I'm sure Coach Peric de Matulac is not joyful about that one. Bauzon fakes out Chris Lalata, steps in for a jumper and gets that to go.
And let me tell you, I think Coach, he's also very hopeful that things will be better in that department.
Lalata is down. Concepcion has the basketball quickly to Wilson Baltazar. Baltazar having trouble against Carlo Velasco. Shot clock at 8. Good denial by Mike Machon. He completes the steal. R. Casajeros will finish with the left hand. 21-19.
Wow, Marikina looking good here.
Almost 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Pinuya rejects the pick. Cross court to Baltazar. The swing to Concepcion. Archie could not connect from the outside. Bauzon loses it. Lalata could not get on the reverse. Velasco is running the break. Hindi mabigay ni Escoto. Casajeros will take it. That one's way off the mark. Velasco is there. Machon gets the bounce pass and gets it off the bank.
Right now, the way it looks is Marikina is, you know, having some sense of urgency, no? They're out hustling and out working itong Pampanga Giant Lanterns, and the struggle is because this man right here hasn't scored a field goal yet. Archie Concepcion is 0 out of 4 from the field.
We're all tied up at 21 all, and it's all because of this. That's the miss from Casajeros. Velasco was there to collect the offensive rebound. Machon cuts to the basket, receives the pass, and finishes despite the contact. Babalik dito si Renz Palma para sa Pampanga, as well as Andre Armenion. Coach Peric de Matulac needing some adjustments here. Concepcion steps out. Concepcion, medyo nadulas ng konti doon. He will travel.
Kasama na rin sa mga magiging challenge para dito kay Coach Peric is ano yung kombinasyon ng mga players that will work well. I mean, coaches would always tell you your best 5 players don't really have to be necessarily on the floor at the same time. It's the 5 players that play best together that have to stay longer.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Nem de la Cruz trying to dive past Andre Armenion.
Ganda ng movement na Marikina.
De la Cruz strong to the hoop, could not finish on the rack. Pampanga is pushing. No numbers for PGL. Armenion pulls it back wisely. Lalata looks inside to Jamo Egilos. Egilos, one-hander.
Yeah.
That's good para kay Jamo Egilos.
Paboritong pwesto at paboritong tira yan ni Jamo Egilos.
De la Cruz gets a screen from Machon. De la Cruz will take it and make it.
I guess you could say the same thing for Nem de la Cruz. That's his favorite shot as well. Left elbow jumper, or right elbow jumper rather.
Egilos. Same shot, same result para kay Jamo Egilos.
Talaga siya komportable yung turning middle with that strong shoulder right hand shot.
6 points in the game para kay Jamo Egilos. De la Cruz with the basketball. De la Cruz, that's a tough shot. Short. Velasco ends up with it. Velasco, that's off his leg. Oh no, it's off a Pampanga player. It will stay with Marikina.
I felt a couple of sequences before this setup. Ang ganda ng ball and man movement nitong Marikina. But this one, they had multiple dribbles by Nem de la Cruz. You gotta move that ball around.
Nobody is on Jomel Landayan. He muffs the three-point shot. Pampanga ahead to Renz Palma. They leave it for Concepcion. That's a foul on Escoto.
Well, Escoto didn't want to get left with the dust of Archie Concepcion going middle. You know, dribble penetrations, you know, isa sa mga forte yan ni Archie Concepcion. You don't want him to catch a good rhythm with that ball in his hand.
Concepcion goes left. Finishes at the basket.
There you go. And those broad shoulders are able to finish straight through the cup.
First basket of the game para kay Archie Concepcion. First 2 points para sa kanya. Basco back to De La Cruz. Nem takes it from 3 off the glass and in for Nem De La Cruz.
Many times we've seen that side of the floor with those shots falling for Nem.
Concepcion hops and scores.
Well, it's about time that Archie starts scoring here. 4 quick ones for Archie Concepcion.
29-26. Maganda naging palitan dito ng parehong kupunan. Concepcion drives by Landayan and hops past the defense of Nem de la Cruz. That's our play of the game. Brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Archie Concepcion in their last game against the Brotherhood had 12 points but had to bleed for all of those markers, Coach Mike.
Yeah, and primarily because he's a marked man. Alam naman natin isa sa mga king pyesa na from last season, and so he's gotta expect that. And I know deep inside his mind na I gotta produce so much better because I gotta lead this team back into the promised land.
We're back here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. The Pampanga Giant Lanterns going for win number 2 against the still winless Marikina Shoemasters squad. Off the timeout, De La Cruz, 3 for 3. That one was short.
Wala masyadong lift dun sa tira na yun kay Nem.
And yet De La Cruz ends up with it. Apologizing to his coaching staff for that missed shot. But that was a good setup,
Yeah,
Coach.
that was a good setup. Little rip screen on the elbow big man with the ball, and then doing what's called a peja action, where the shooter runs to the big man with the ball and catches it and shoots it.
So meron na palang tinatawag na peja action.
Yeah, that's peja action from Peja Stojakovic, that's Sacramento Kings. That's how they normally set him up.
Marlon Basco, he normally knocks down those 3-point shots. 6 points now in the game for the veteran. And we're all tied up at 29 apiece. Lalata loses it. De La Cruz trying to save it. It will go the other way still to Marikina. Marikina is 2 out of 11 from the outside, while Pampanga has yet to convert from downtown. This 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
Well, the threes have been a struggle for both teams, that's for sure. Most of them really looking for more paint action and paint points.
Marikina looking to get their first lead of the game. Tiburcio fails to give it to them. Matakbo dito si Andre Armenion. Leaves it for Lalata. Lalata sets the screen for Alcoriza. Lalata rolls to the basket and goes up hard. He was hit hard too. He will go to the line for a couple of free throws.
That's more like it. Catch the ball, move it around, get something going instead of getting multiple dribbles. Now, I love that movement right there. And Chris Lalata once he got that on that elbow extended area, knew that he had to drive it inside.
Chris Lalata, double-double in their last game against the Brotherhood. 12 and 12, including 3 blocks. Also had a few assists and a few steals. Chris Lalata, this is a guy that had a name established already in the MPBL. That's why he got into the PBA, played for Phoenix, had a few seasons there, and then came back last year with Davao. I'm hoping that Chris Lalata can once again re-establish himself as a star here in this league.
And I agree. I mean, yung mga nakikita nating mga laro niya before, you like to see that because that's a good fit, not just for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, but even for himself. He knows he's in the right team, and just like his other guys, as you see a 3 here missed, yung mga bagong teammates niya na dito sa Giant Lanterns, you cannot afford to just be happy being here. You know there is a responsibility and there's pressure to go back and try and win another championship, though it's easier said than done without balking the rest of the guys.
Well, that shot certainly was easier said than done, but Escoto knocks it down from the outside. That's a tough look from the right corner. The drive by Bauzon and then Landayan leaving it here for Jetro Escoto.
Yep. Little grenade action between the guards, and Escoto delivers with that corner 3.
Marikina in the lead, 32-30 in the lead for the first time in this game.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Nem de la Cruz now playing for the Marikina Shoemasters this season. Had 12 points against Abra, built on 3 out of 8 from the field. It was 50% from the free throw line. If you're Nem de la Cruz, you'd want to have a better percentage from the line.
Agree. At sa bawat team na nilalaruan ni Nem de la Cruz, expectation na yun eh.
8 points tonight para sa kanya. 3 out of 7 from the field, 1 out of 3 from three-point country. His team is up by a bucket right now. How can Pampanga respond? Armenion attacks middle. Couldn't sidestep away from the defense. Janelle Bauzon gets the leak out pass. Janelle Bauzon finishing at the cup.
Yan ang magiging challenge para sa mga big man ng Pampanga ngayon. Now, teams are gonna run at you and they're gonna challenge the length of the floor defense by your bigs, just like Jemo Eguilos. And so you're forced into turnovers and they try to run the other way.
Janelle Bauzon hitting Renzo Alcoriza there on the shot. Alcoriza is down, holding on to his right leg. You take a look at this assist of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Janelle Bauzon providing some quality minutes here in this game para sa Marikina.
Yeah, good move right there, allowing that defense to fly by before finishing up with a layup. No.
Coming in for Janelle Bauzon, CJ Delfino coming in for Andre Armenion.
No.
CJ Delfino coming in for the first time in this game at the 1:49 mark of the second quarter. Ito talagang napapag-usapan to parate si CJ Delfino sa Pampanga.
Yes, agree. He's one of the talents that's come out of Pampanga recently. A lot of potential. We've seen him perform it actually. Magaling talaga si CJ Delfino, but to be doing it at this level, maybe more games into it. He's played somewhat a minute or so in their last game and hasn't been really good. And the hope is makakuha siya ng momentum.
So let's see if he can get it here in this game. Long on the 3 there was Marikina.
He's more like an air boom Tampos kind of story, right?
Yeah, Panalay legend.
Right.
Very popular in their hometown.
Got picked up by Letran.
Yeah. Chose to forego his college eligibility to play for his hometown squad, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Jomel Landayan, sorry miss at the basket. Running here are the Lanterns. Palma finishing through traffic.
Pero nakita mo si CJ Delfino in that situation. I'm sure if he were playing back in his school and his Panalay, he would have gone straight and went for that layup. Pero still, nandun pa rin, I guess, yung pangingiling ba na mas mga veterano to sa akin. And that's understandable. But you have to outgrow that because you're the guy.
He gives it up here to Renz Palma. Crossover against Marlon Basco, and then the finish over the outstretched arms of the defense. De La Cruz to Marlon Basco. We're all tied up at 34 here. Go, picks it up, 4 seconds on the shot clock. They need a basket. Supalpal sa doon ni Chris Lalata.
Yeah, that's tough. Can't do a step through in that situation. Doesn't have a left-hand finish. But Rafael Go before was one of the, prime young guns back, 2020, 2019?
He's also one player who chose to forgo his college eligibility to play here for Marikina. Alcoriza, eye-to-eye with Joshua Roque. Go shows Delfino. That's a wild shot. 29 seconds to play here in the first half. De La Cruz working the two-man game with Marlon Basco. Rescreen.
Good
De La
defense.
Cruz got splits. He forced to give it up. To the corner they go. Landayan with a hand in his face. That one's long. Aguilo secures it. Shot clock is off. 9 seconds to play here. Delfino, does he realize it? Delfino still has it. Delfino goes through the screen. Delfino gives it up. Aguilos has to take it. Delfino got it to Aguilos, but Jamo Aguilos could not score.
And Jamo talks to CJ, says, go finish it. He's got that skill set, he's got that handles, he got the speed to break down the defense. Again, there's still maturity that he's gonna grow into. Speaking of CJ.
Back to square one here after the first 20 minutes of action. We're all tied up at 34 all between Pampanga and Marikina.
Lagi mong sinisiguradong patas. Lagi mong inuuna kung anong dapat. Hindi mo kayang malunok ang katotohanang marami pa rin tayong kababayang gutom at walang tahanan. Kaya hindi ka tumigil sa paglaban. Harapin ang kahirapan. Tulungan ang nangangailangan. Basagin ang korupsyon na kanilang nakasanayan. Sa loob at labas, man ng Pinas, bakas na bakas ang iyong tapang puksain ang mga problema ng bansa. Gamit ang lakas, gamit ang isip, gamit ang puso. Kung para sa mamamayang Pilipino, si MP, wala yang sinisino. Manny Pacquiao.
Kayo ay nakatutok pa rin sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. This is Lyra Pinsalan, and today we are here with the assistant coach of Marikina Shoe Masters. We have Coach Reinhard Mendoza. Coach, given the fact that after the 2 losses of your team, we can see that your players are playing well today. So ano nga ba yung nakapagpa-boost ng confidence ng mga players?
Well, yesterday we had our team practice and we talked to the boys na focus lang, believe in themselves. Nasa likod lang naman yung management and all the coaches to support them all the way dito sa season na to. So gusto lang namin yung makita yung maturity from our players na na-adapt nila yung level ng competitiveness dito sa liga ng MPBL. As you know, we have young players. We don't have much ex-pro or veteran players. Our team were composed of young and rookie players. So sabi namin naniniwala kami sa kanila, so magtiwala lang din sila sa sarili nila.
Totoo nga, Coach, yung sinabi ng players kanina that they're here to give the defending champions a good game. Malaking tulong po ba yung management nyo to that mind conditioning?
Well, alam naman nila na nasa likod lang naman ng buong management and yung big boss namin and of course ng buong coaching staff, especially sa aming head coach na si Eric C, na talagang binuboost lagi yung moral nila as a player. And also, sabi nga namin sa kanila, we're building a family here, not just brotherhood. So yung camaraderie namin, gusto namin ma-solidify dito sa family namin. And we came here in this season na dapat we play hard as one.
Thank you. May mga gusto po ba kayong batiin?
Yes, of course, nagpapasalamat kami sa aming Madam Big Boss na si Madam Veronica Ginto. And of course, ang Ver Diamond Jewelers, ang Silver Star Sports Management, Top Tier Athletics, and of course, ang We Provide, ang Orduha Clothing. At nagpapasalamat kami sa aming minamahal na Councilor Coach Elvis Tolentino ng District 2 ng Marikina. And of course, gusto ko rin po sanang batiin ang aming mahal na alkalde, Mayor Marcy Teodoro, at ang aming Congresswoman na Maan Teodoro. Marikenyo, patuloy niyo po sana kaming suportahan sa ligang ito. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Thank you so much. The Assistant Coach of Marikina Shoemaster, Coach Reinhard Mendoza. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Halftime now between the Pampanga Giant Lanterns and the Marikina Shoe Masters. We're all tied up at 34 apiece. And I know you're surprised, Coach Mike, as I am surprised. I know a lot of people are surprised as well. Break down the first half for us.
Well, it was defense that really, led Marikina to tie this game up. They were able to force 11 turnovers and Pampanga, to which they got 10 points off of it. Pero itong Pampanga naman, nakakuha ng puntos nila, karamihan sa loob ng paint, which is not surprising. Pero napakaraming tulong rin kasi nakuha ng Marikina galing sa bench nila. And huge help coming out of that roster, sila Bauson. These guys have really, helped tie this game here at this point of the half.
Yeah, Janelle Bauzon coming in off the bench to score 6 of those 19 bench points, along with guys like R.R. Casajeros, who has 4, and also guys like Marlon Basco coming in to score 6 points. There you see the leading scorers. Nem de la Cruz topping it all off with 8 points. Casajeros, as I mentioned, has 4. Basco and Bauzon with 6. And these are the guys who really have helped Marikina keep in step with Pampanga in this game. Don't you think it's quite concerning when you have Jemo Eguilos as your leading scorer?
Well, in a way, it's good because you know that he's very actively pursuing scoring. But I guess, to me, my concern really would be to give more touches to Archie Concepcion and maybe Jeff Binuya. Archie can score. He had, 3 early attempts from 3, couldn't sink anything from there. And so he tried to get inside, some dribble penetration. Right now, he only has, 4 points in the game. He's 2 out of 6, 0 out of 3 from the 3-point region. Hasn't gone to the line yet. And so I guess more is expected out of an Archie Concepcion.
Well, let's see if this third quarter can be his moment. Talking about Archie Concepcion, he begins things here with Raymond Binuya, Jemo Eguilos, Chris Lalata, and JLC, John Lloyd Clemente. Here he is with the basketball. That's a dribbling violation. There have been a lot of instances in the game where things have not gone the way of Archie Concepcion. Yung mga nadudulas siya or yung bola, masyadong malakas yung talbog.
Minsan tingin ko, in as much as alam natin kung anong kakayanan ni Archie Concepcion, hindi mo pa rin maalis yung mga dating nandyan sila Kuya Encho Serrano, diba? Those guys, Jeff Viennes, who would rev him up before he gets back on the floor. Now, he's only got to look for himself and to be leading this team then.
A big block here, access denied by Chris Lalata on Jomel Andaya. The battle for the loose ball stays with Marikina. And going back to Archie Concepcion, coach, the reason why he reveled so much last year is because he didn't really have a lot of attention on him.
Correct. Ang dami kasing iba pa no? And he would come into the game na hindi siya yung primary focus And for the most part, sometimes they leave him pa nga and because they have to take care of Encho and Balti and what have you. But now, siya na yung tinututukan ng depensa.
He'll have to adjust in that regard. He was the primary focus of the defense. What about Marlon Basco? Getting in on the help side defense, but nobody marking Jemo Eguilos.
Pero yung lundag ni Marlon Basco no?
Nandun pa rin.
Nandun talagang
may pakonti-konti pa rin talaga.
Correct.
Here he is. He almost hit a 3 earlier. Same result. Actually, para kay Marlon Basco, that's 2 straight in and out misses. Para kay Marlon Basco, tight spot there to make a pass, but Eguilos still able to hand it off to Raymond Binuya.
Yeah, that's a tough catch. Lalo na, alam mo, nandun sa likod si Marlon Basco at nag-aabang.
Clemente there, he got hit. And look at Marlon Basco just really swatting it away. And you understand the frustration that was on his face right after that play.
Kasi nakadepensa ka na. You got past the primary, the help defense rather was able to stop it. But somebody's got to recover the other side of the floor. And for the most part, that's where the defense starts breaking down on the recovery.
Boss A.G. Gonzalez on your screens. The team owner of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns looking on intently here as his team only up by 3 points. We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Make that 4 after that second made free throw by Raymond Binuya. Jomel Landayan, that's a push.
That's right.
That is exactly what Raymond Binuya can do. He can get on your nerve.
Right. Talagang parang si Casajeros to matinding dumipensa talagang he'll get the best of you.
Offensive foul on number 20, Joey Natayan. Technical
And imagine
foul,
last
Joey
year,
Natayan, using for
there were moments in the Pampanga Giant Lanterns game na magkasama si Jeff Viernes tsaka si Binuya on the floor at the same time. Gaano kahirap naman yun, di ba?
Jomel Landayan also getting called for a technical foul for using profane language. Oh, Archie
Oh, wow.
Concepcion also could not hit from the free throw line.
It's his first trip to the line and couldn't still sink it.
Coaching staff right there of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Coach Aisel on that Pampanga bench still. Terence Failona is back in the game para kay Jomel Landayan. Magpapalamig siguro muna ng konti si Jomel sa bench. Clemente had to adjust in midair.
But I love the read of Chris Lalata. A little rip screen intended for Jamo Egalus. And then just pass it off inside for that basket by JLC.
The lead is 6 for PGL. Basco will not force the issue. Back to Nem. De La Cruz has Egilos in front of him. Ping pong with Marlon Basco. Terence Failona attacking the middle. The fake, the pass. Basco to the corner. Josh Roque able to release it before the shot clock, but
Yeah,
I think they're going to review it.
I felt he still had that ball in his hands. I don't think they're going to review anymore.
Okay, yeah. It is a clear shot clock violation.
Pero ang ganda ng movement ni Marlon Basco, you know, after giving up that ball, immediately relocating to the wing. He had a shot attempt but he gave it up for Roque. Kaya lang, naputokan sila ng 24 doon.
Binuya backs up. Lalata will set the pick. Lalata gets the pass
There you
on the
go.
roll but could not finish. Could have been a pretty play for Pampanga.
Ganun ang setup middle ball screen action between those two guys but Lalata couldn't finish.
Mason hands it off to Roque. Roque back to Mike. Mason swings it to the left side. Basco, can he hit this time? This one is short. Concepcion goes up high for that rebound. Archie pushing. Bounce pass. JLC, the score.
Ganda ng pinakita ang situation na yun. Hindi pinilit ni Archie Concepcion and he had to find a free JLC for that finish.
At meron pang ang foul na may tatawag laban sa Marikina. So JLC will go to the line for one more free throw. This is our play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory, you more game with 1xBet.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
The MPBL is live on Facebook and on YouTube as well as on Solar Sports every Monday, Thursdays, and Saturdays beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. Nandito tayo ngayon sa Caloocan Sports Complex. Our first time this season here in the home court of the Caloocan Batang Kankalu. They will be matching wits with the Mindoro Tamaraws later on at 8 o'clock p.m. But for now, we are witnessing the battle between the Pampanga Giant Lanterns and the Marikina Shoe Masters. John Lloyd Clemente at the line for a bonus. He completes the three-point play. That's 7 points now in the game for John Lloyd Clemente.
And sigurado ako mamaya mapupuno na ito ng mga supporters ng Caloocan dahil alam naman natin, itong mga taga dito, isa sa mga pinakamaingay na mga supporters ng MPBL.
Oh yeah, and they are fresh off a championship in the PSL.
Yeah, right.
De La Cruz gets it to Tiburcio. Short stab is good.
Good attempt, immediately letting go of that shot on a catch and roll.
That's his first basket of the game. Talking about Julius Tiburcio, one of the new additions for Marikina this year under Coach Eric C. Concepcion, top of the circle, being guarded by Nem de la Cruz. Doesn't use the screen. Concepcion could not finish at the basket. The woes continue to pile up para kay Archie sa laro na to.
And nakikita mo talagang ang Pampanga Giant Lanterns ngayon is it's still a work in progress. Ang tagal ma-develop ng offense nila. It takes them quite a while before they actually figure out how they're gonna find out the point of attack.
Lalata gets the offensive rebound. Another possession for Pampanga. Clemente no good on the runner. That's last touch on Tiburcio. It will stay with the purple shirts. 14 on their shot clock.
Even the spacing is, makita mo may mga things that could still be done better by the Giant Lanterns, and that's understandable because these guys have got to get more floor time together.
Tiburcio was chased down behind by the very pesky Raymond Binoya.
Yan naman ang hindi mo matatawaran sa Pampanga, yung effort, yung sipag na bumaba sa depensa. Nandoon pa rin yan ang importante.
Raymond Binoya's story is very relatable to the Pinoy player. Binoya started off as a third-string point guard, and now he is one of the vital cogs of this Pampanga squad, two-time champion as well.
Yeah. And those things are earned by Binoya. I mean, he didn't ask for it. He had to go in, put in the work. And so right now, nakikita niya. Siya na ngayon ang nagtitimon para dito sa defending champions, the Giant Lanterns.
I'm sure he welcomes this opportunity. Concepcion working against the defense of Nem de la Cruz. Shot clock is at 6. Egilos against two defenders. Jamo Egilos up and under is good.
So far, Jamo's been the consistent Giant Lantern for Pampanga.
And I think there was supposed to be a foul right after that shot.
Right.
He puts Bauzon and Peñano up. Peñano was asking for a travel, but late call made by our official. So they will give Jamo Egilos, I believe, a free throw here, a bonus shot.
2+1 here for Jamo. That play could have actually gone either way.
But Marikina will be challenging that last foul call.
Yeah. I was alluding to yung position kanina dun sa offensive set na yun. Nandun sa wing si Archie Concepcion, nasa corner si Jamo Egulos because he wanted to give that side of the floor for Archie to operate. Pero sabi ni Archie, hindi, pumoste ka dahil alam ko may advantage ka sa ilalim. Again, that leadership by Archie Concepcion.
We'll take a short break. Magbabalik ang MPBL.
The challenge made by Marikina Shoe Masters was successful. Basket is good for J.Mo Egilos, but there was no foul.
Successful challenge for Coach Eric C. and the Marikina Shoe Masters. So no foul on Carl Peñano and no free throw will be awarded.
Yeah, I thought so too. That was just a very regular up and under move by J.Mo Egilis.
So the score stands 45-36. Casajeros at 6 points in the opening half. Peñano working hard underneath. Gets two defenders, gets the basket to go.
And Marikina just hanging in there, you know, just enough to keep it a close game.
They led for the first time in the second quarter. But Pampanga just came out of the gates here in the second half, really determined to restore order to their side. That's exactly what they did. But right now, Marikina slowly making this a ball game once again. Peñano completes the three-point play, 45-39. So just in the third quarter, Binuya having trouble against the defense of Terence Failona. Lalata on the left flank. Egilos humihingi ng bola. Di nabigyan. Binuya up top, no go. Ball tracked down by Marikina. The white shirts are pushing. Bauzon, walang mabigyan ng bola sa loob. They will set up their offense, 15 on the shot clock. High ball screen by Bauzon. He rolls to the basket, nahawakan siya doon ni Archie Concepcion.
And Bauzon didn't have anywhere to go in that situation. I don't think he's properly set himself up on the low block where he wanted to go. He was still on his way when that pass came in. So sayang yung foul na yan ni Archie.
Pangatlo na yan, laban kay Archie Concepcion. JLC and Archie will go back to the bench for Renz Palma and Renz Alcoriza. Pareho palang Renz ito.
Oo nga.
Failona with a basketball. Working the two-man game with Bauzon. Failona to Junel Bauzon to Carl Peñano. Wala, but Junel Bauzon doing a yeoman's job inside, getting the offensive rebound and stick back.
Well, ang ganda ng read doon. Rumol si Bauzon when that two on the ball situation, and Bauzon had to find another guy that was cutting.
Egilos, quick spin, di naiwanan doon. Carl Peñano holding his ground against J.Mo Egilos.
Yeah.
Babalik dito si Andre Armenion. Take a look at that last sequence.
Yeah. Yan yung finding the roller, you know. It's not the first pass of that roll that gets you the better shot. It's actually the second pass that happens to be what happened earlier.
Short on the three-point try. Failona could not hit. It will stay with Marikina.
Ilang beses mong nababanggit from the previous 2 years na close ang laban between Marikina and Pampanga. That is very rare. And so makikita mo talaga yung, you know, growth of games and chemistry building para dito sa Pampanga Giant Lanterns this early in the season.
Failona off to Velasco. Carlo, masikip ang dinaanan doon. Bauzon fakes out the defense, puts it up. Wala. That's gonna be Pampanga basketball. Alcoriza looking for a teammate. Armenion. The entry pass into GP Paundo. One-on-one against Bauzon. Anong tawag doon? That's an offensive foul laban sa Pampanga.
Yeah.
Paundo called for that.
Yeah.
Trying to ward away Bauzon while he was trying to make a pass.
Makikita mo yung indecisiveness sa mga action offensive ng Pampanga Giant Lanterns. And we can't emphasize enough that katulad nga sabi nila Archie at katulad ng ni-report ni Laika kanina, they're still building chemistry.
Casajeros lines it up for three. Way off the mark.
Ooh.
Velasco is down. Numbers here for Pampanga. Renz Palma, that's what he does best.
Ang paboritong move ni Renz Palma yan. Going downhill, very strong.
And then the gather.
And the gather, right, yung rip high, no?
Yes.
Bago mag-finish.
And there you see Sir Emeroreta, Operation Head. First nominee of the MPBL party list, Sir Ron Munsayak, also in attendance here at the Caloocan Sports Complex. Nandiyan rin si the Destroyer, Rudy Distrito, part of our VIP row dito sa ating venue. Our Tuesday triple header here in the MPBL. Renz Palma missing on that free throw, brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Pampanga as a team is 11 out of 15 from the charity stripe tonight. And Palma goes 1 for 2.
Well, after going perfect to the line, he splits his second trip. Now 3 out of 4 from there.
Balik sa laro dito para sa Marikina. Ito si Jomel Landayan. They want to clear out for Jomel against Armenion. Landayan to Bauzon. Almost stepped into a 3. De La Cruz receives the handoff. 7 on the shot clock. De La Cruz contorts his body into a shot.
Hindi madali yung tira na yun. Ang dami niyang bunggong dinaanan. 10 points already for Nem De La Cruz.
First guy in double figures for Marikina in this game. Armenion kicks in out to Alcoriza. Catch and shoot. No. That sails out of bounds. Marikina basketball.
And up to this point, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns have not made a 3 yet in this game. Out of 11 tries.
That's very surprising considering how many shooters they have on this roster.
Oo, Renz Alcoriza, di ba?
Archie Concepcion.
Archie Concepcion.
Andre Armenion can shoot from the outside. John Lloyd Clemente as well.
Right, agree.
Landayan will try his luck. Siya rin di makashoot doon. Alcoriza nangunguna. Renz Alcoriza will score.
That's where he operates best, out in the open.
De La Cruz trying to get it back quickly. Throws it up. Bad shot there by Nem De La Cruz.
And not a good finish at all.
Palma sees Armenion. Can this be the first 3? Wala pa rin yan. That goes over the back. Peñano and Paundo trying to battle it out for that loose ball.
And twice nakikita mo yung mga ganong finish. No? As you see this leak out by Renz Alcoriza.